We just gonna go from there, honestly. So basically, bro, what's the story of DJ Adonis, man? Yeah, but
Oh my bad. Hold the mic up.
no, you good,
The story of DJ Adonis. Where you want to start at?
man.
Like
Well,
like the.
so I met you on social media,
Mhm.
just networking and stuff, and then I know you used to DJ Icon here in
Yeah.
town, right? And then I think I know people just within your circle, I think, or just people who know you. And I was like Adonis, and I saw you on Twitter. I was like, oh, okay. And so I was thinking like, might as well link up, see what we can do.
Yeah,
So
for sure. So you
yeah.
want to know like
And where you from? Like, how you get to the spot you're at now? How'd you start
okay.
DJing?
That's what I was gonna say. You, I can give you like I can tell you like the story of my life and put it in a shorter version of like when I started DJing. That's what you're looking
Mm.
for, like when I started DJing
We'll
more.
start DJing first, and then
Okay.
we get into light stuff a little bit later. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
We'll start from there then.
Mm-hmm.
To make a short story short, a long story short, I started DJing and it was kind of always like within me. I felt like it was a part of my purpose. I just didn't know how to tap into it exactly until I got to college. I went to Sam Houston,
Okay.
and I got there. I want to say in the fall of 2013, fall 2013,
Okay.
and I saw a dude DJing who actually happened to go on to be one of my mentors and close friends.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him DJing, and I was like, man, I can do that. Cause for years, I was always the one that kind of collected music. Like since I was young, my whole family's pretty much super musically inclined.
Mm-hmm.
We all kind of grew up playing instruments. A lot of them in my family can sing. Unfortunately, that skipped me. My mom has the bomb voice though.
Mm-hmm.
My cousins have it. I'm mad because that shit didn't hit me. But
Nah, man.
long story short, I grew up basically indulging and taking in a lot of music because I have like I'm the youngest one in my family. My mom's the oldest one out of 9, so I get to hear stuff from like the 70s, 80s. Then my cousins are growing up. You get the Erica Badu, the Tupac. My uncle's over here, Otis
The good
Redding.
shit.
More of jazz musicians too. I have one of my uncles who's super into jazz, and he put me on like a lot of jazz music as a kid. And then just being diverse throughout life and moving around, traveling, meeting people from different cultures and just like, oh, this is the type of music they listen to, and it actually jams.
Mm-hmm.
Like I might not know what they saying sometimes, but it actually jams. But long story short, I got to Sam. I was always the one that was collecting music, burning CDs, selling them at school. And I kind of took that and I was like, man, my music's already organized. So I was like, maybe if I put two and two together, I can start DJing with it. And ironically, I had bought a turntable like a whole year and a half, 2 years before I ever even thought about going to Sam or before I ever thought about any of that.
Mm.
I bought it, plugged it up, looked at it, and I was like, man, this shit hard. Fuck that.
Right.
Put it on the back of my head for like a whole year, year and a half, maybe 2 years, bro, honestly. And then when I got there, I was like, okay, I'm going to try this again.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried it, and slowly, after hours and hours of just like watching, going to different parties, listening to DJs, traveling to listen to DJs, spending hours practicing, sounding like shit, it kind of started to come together. And since then, pretty much, I just been running with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So like, when did you get your first like DJ gig, like at like working at a club or anything like that, or like even a party or something like that? For like,
oh, bro, honestly, at the moment, I can tell you the first time I got paid.
okay.
But it was the most random shit. I don't remember the first time like I officially got booked and officially got paid. Right now, I honestly can't think of it, but I do remember. I used to work at the Nike outlet in Conroe.
Okay.
It was a huge Nike outlet, and most of the like a lot of kids from Sam, they used to hire like, to be honest, like the more popular people. Not to say it like that, or the cool kids to work at Nike.
I mean, like, there's a kind of like facade that most people
Yeah.
have that they want in their store. You
It
know what I
goes
mean?
hand in hand. I mean, you get it.
Mhm.
With the best looking people, shit like that. But
You know.
anyways, this chick that was the manager there, she had a big ass house off in the woods. Her parents had a house actually, and she would throw parties there like every weekend, if not like once, twice a month. And so I would go there,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, man, that's kind of how it started too. I was like, man, I was like, who the fuck playing music, man? Let me play the music. Like that's how it started. So I took that little turntable, had this busted ass laptop, and that's kind of how I started DJing. The first time I got paid, this white girl was completely drunk, and she walked up to me, handed me a $5 bill, and she was like, "You're playing my favorite song." Here, she's like, "You should have a tip jar. Here's this $5. Oh my god." That was the first time I ever got paid.
So, hey man,
Yeah.
hey, you get it how you can
That's
sometimes.
a file that I won't forget that though. I
I
think I
mean,
still
like
got that $5 bill actually too.
that's the
So
cool
yeah.
thing that people those like little sentimental things
Mhm.
like those just like the little sometimes you go in a store or something you see that little $1 bill like the first dollar bill they made in that
Yeah.
store or something like that
Type of
and like
situation.
the fact that you can bring that story up just like like not it wasn't even the first time you got necessarily like booked but it's the first time you just got someone
Yeah.
paid you for your services you know
I
what I'm
booked my
saying
damn self when we
you,
got
you
that
know
car
you know what I'm saying
controller and
you know what I'm
everything.
saying
Yeah.
so yeah no I mean like getting but making your own money already like at that point
Bro, I can't.
so
I'm gonna have to find that story for you somewhere in my mental Rolodex, bro. Cause I
mm,
cannot remember the first time I got booked and
mm,
got paid like that. But
okay.
we'll circle back to that hopefully later.
Okay, so you say you've been at like roughly like 5, 6, but better part of 10 years, roughly.
Oh no, DJing,
Mm.
bro. Oh well, yeah. I guess you would say from 13 till now. Well no, take that back. Yeah, got there in 13. Probably started DJing in 14. Really. I know I didn't DJ like that first semester when I got there. Like that next year though,
Mm.
I was for sure DJing. So yeah, around those lines. Damn, it's been a minute. You had to make me think about it.
Like
It's been a minute.
yeah, no. I mean, I just started podcasting maybe like it's been 3 years now, but time
3
flies now,
years. Yeah.
And so like, and I was telling you just before we started, like I was at my mom's place, like just doing podcasts on. It was pandemic time too, and so there was a bunch of shit to talk about, like whether it was COVID, whether it was the George Floyd, the Black Lives Matter stuff.
Yeah.
There was so much shit going on. And I would just ask people just to send me like random stuff to talk about, and so I was just
That's
bored, you know what I
cool.
mean? Didn't have a job, anything like that, and so just took it. And then once I moved out and like started doing the adult stuff, that's when life started hitting me with that like going in waves and stuff, and kind of just trying to figure out really after losing the security of having a job that I thought I was gonna have for a while,
Yeah.
and then now it's like okay, what are you gonna do now. And then one of the things I was always able to do is just talk to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just find
That's
just
naturally you.
just talk about
Yeah.
life, just perspective and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so,
That's the beauty of it too, bro. I
mm,
didn't mean to cut you off, but it's like
oh, you
shit.
good.
You might think, life's supposed to go in this straight line. You have an
Mm,
idea, and all of a sudden life hits you with a fucking curveball. That's
mm,
the beauty of life, though, bro. People, I feel like we as humans don't appreciate that. Like every day, you gonna have to figure something out, damn
mm.
near.
So, what were you going to school for at Sam?
At the time, well, I graduated. I got a degree in marketing management.
Okay.
I got a minor in mass comm. And yeah, that's what I was going to school for. I honestly like my story with even going to school is crazy, but that's what I went for, bro. And I'm blessed
Mm,
that I met a lot of people within the business school there alone. But
mm.
yeah,
So that kind of plays hand in hand with like booking. Like you said, you book yourself now. Like I mean, like you're your own businessman essentially.
yeah.
Like
School didn't
especially.
teach like the actual curriculum from the school didn't teach me none of that shit though.
Mm,
Like not to say like that to down it, but I
mm,
was thinking about that the other day. Like I went there and people go there with this idea that we're gonna get this degree and we're gonna, go get this job and do whatever. But I was like, damn, everything I was doing there was networking, learning how people operate in a sense, learning how to shake hands. That's one of the things I took from saying like learn how to shake hands with people and talk to people you usually wouldn't talk to, like
mm,
because you're here and. To be honest, Sam is like a melting pot, and it's so diverse. You'll have people from all over the world, and you just get to talk to them, kind of like me and you,
mm.
and you get to know their story and see where they're from. But like, school didn't really teach me none of that shit.
Yeah, that's kind of like the wave a lot of people been on too. At least with me, like I'm at the point where I might as well finish because like I'm just right there. Like I said, going back to pandemic, COVID, all that, had to go through all that stuff like that. But I mean, a lot of people been on that same wave, especially like as a YouTuber myself. Like a lot of YouTubers are on that big like, school's kind of pointless. I
Yeah,
would say it's always necessarily like you said, it's not necessarily pointless because I mean, you took
not necessarily.
there. I mean, that's not necessarily like the degree you have. I mean, people like equate it just like it's just a piece of paper. You know what I mean? And with your name on it. But also, it's that like it's that backing, especially for like African Americans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's that backing of just having like something to your name. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
just having that certificate of like your accomplishment. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. It's definitely a feeling, man.
Mm-hmm.
A great feeling. But then I be real with it, man. Like. Shit, they still gonna look at you as a nigga.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
come down to it. You
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
it's
Like,
a
shit, it's all about politics and not even to cut you off again, bro. But even with that, like you might think, You know what I'm saying? You got your degree. You could have 4, 5, 6, 7 degrees, but you go into a job and the owner nephew want to work there. Who you think he gonna hire?
The
You
nephew.
better get to networking, and
Mm.
you can have that as a backup. Don't get me wrong. I ain't downing it, but
Mm.
shit, it's politics out here, man. That shit is real.
Mm.
Shit happens everywhere, man. Like even in the DJ world, it's politics, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You could be the coldest, but
So even like just like like elaborate on that a little bit, like how it's like political with like even in the DJ world.
within the DJ world, like
Mm.
my boy Jay Smith over there, shout out to Smitty over there chilling.
Yeah.
He can relate, man. It's just like I can give you two good examples. The same one I just used, bro. You could literally be the coldest DJ,
Mm.
you know, and that could be hands down. Like you could walk in the room and put the dude. Well, I'm gonna say the dude I'm gonna use for reference. You could put me and him next to each other. I'll go in there and kill him all day in any type of music, any genre. But he could be the owner's son or the owner's nephew or the manager. You know, they grew up together.
Mm.
They gonna hire you or hire him before they hire you.
Mm.
And see how he's shaking his head? He knows, bro. Or shit like this will happen. This another example. You could let's say they got me DJing, they paying me $500 a night. Another DJ, and it's so accessible now to DJ because anybody can get a laptop, anybody can go download music, anybody can go buy a digital turntable.
Oh yeah, no, I could.
And I'm gonna say this too for another point.
Mm.
I think this is true. If they didn't have these digital turntables now, and I use them, I love them, and people still had to use the crates and the vinyls and all that, there would be way less DJs and there would be more quality.
Mm.
Because now it's a lot more quantity, and that goes into they might hire a dude that just bought his laptop, just bought his board 2 weeks ago. He said, "Hey, I'm gonna come DJ for you. I do it for $50,
Mm-hmm.
or I do it for free drinks."
Yeah, like,
Who the fuck you think they gonna go with?
Free drinks?
It'll show if they value you or not. But there's been a lot of situations where that should have happened, especially out here in College Station,
Mm.
where they don't really value the DJs just as long as the music don't stop playing. And I say they don't value the DJ because out here, it's more of a small pond. So even when it comes to venues to go to, like when you go to Northgate, you can only go so many places.
At most, maybe. If you're talking about like, cause we want to go to a club where it's good foot traffic, cause you want to get paid
Mhm.
too, obviously.
Yeah.
And then, so you're talking maybe 10 places.
And out
you
of
know?
those 10,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, even if you go by yourself, you're probably only going to go to 2 or 3 of those.
Mhm.
And then if you're with your friends, that might even condense even more because it's like, damn, it's a college town. Okay, us 3 go out. Oh, we got 10 of our friends to go, and we want to go to this one spot. How hard is it to get all 10 of those friends to go to another spot where you know it might be jumping more? Even in College Station, it's hard to move a group of your friends to go over here. So you're only going to go, my point being is you're only going to go to so many of those places.
Either the places you know or the places that are popping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And more often than not, the places that people know are the places that are popping. And so then it becomes again that little Shark Tank of like how many DJs trying to get to this place, you know what I'm saying? Because so how many places did you work in Northgate?
None now. I
No,
quit.
or did you back in the
We
day?
can get into that too. I definitely walked away. It's been approximately a year,
Okay.
and it's been the greatest time.
Mm,
Like, bro, I did not realize how. We'll get into that later.
No, you good. You good.
But yeah, I worked somewhere everywhere there. He has too, man. Shit, did damn near everywhere you can think of there. Respectfully saying, man, like it's just a rat race.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a rat race from the bartenders, the owners, the DJs. Like,
I bartended for about a year in Northgate too.
Yeah.
I worked at a country
Where
bar. Country bar, Rebel Draft House. Because the owners of that, they had
okay.
yeah, they had the owner. They owned Mad Hatters, which was more of like a little cocktail bar, but it was more of a like alternative, like 90s, a little bit like 2000s kind of thing. So I fucked with that a little bit more, but they needed more help at the bar. And like being the only nigga in like a country bar, I use it to my advantage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But I saw that like how it's just like a rat race. You know what I'm saying? Just like between bartenders trying to get people, trying to get money, because everybody just fighting. You know what I'm saying? It's like try to make it competitive and stuff, but then it comes.
Go ahead, bro. My bad.
No, you good. Go ahead. What you about to ask?
I ain't mean to cut you off. I should have held that. But
No,
I
you
was
good.
gonna say, were y'all like splitting tips, or did y'all get to keep y'all's tips?
As a bar back, I was splitting tips. We had to tip out 20% of the bartender. I remember that 20% to the bar back, and then the bar backs and people picking up glass and stuff. They would split that pool. So game nights, you make a killing. I mean, shit, I remember Clemson, bro. I made like 220 busting tables, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like there was nights where it's like it was good, but I mean I just remember like I busted my ass,
You had to,
you know,
bro.
like a
Them
lot.
game nights,
Mhm.
and this is going hand in hand with that. It's like, damn, you would damn near think. In some cases, I get both sides because I do understand how business works. But like, if you have a game night like at Alabama, and your DJ's holding this crowd in there for you, like, why wouldn't you give your DJ more?
Mhm.
You know, just break. But I've only had that happen once, but it was like, damn, should be getting crazy. Yeah,
Let me ask
go
you about
ahead, bro.
keeping it fresh with the music in the club, especially because I mean I went out the past weekend and I run into that same problem every time of like, man, they just play the same old shit every time, and like on always on the schedule, like repeat. It was the same way at the bar too, because the people, even people said it too, like y'all have good drinks, good bartenders, good service, but y'all have the same music over and over and over and over. And we tell the owners like same thing, and they just no, we're gonna keep the music the same. And it's like,
They can do that because, like I said, like we were saying earlier, there's
mm,
only so many places out here. It's not like a bigger city where you have way more options. You can go to, like, if you go to Houston, you can go to a Washington, or you can go over here, and they got a whole nother set of clubs. Or you might know a ducked off part of Houston, bro. You only got Northgate, and if you are so brave enough to go, being a college student, and go to downtown Brown,
mm-hmm.
like, you know what I'm saying? You
Even
got
then,
so
that's
many.
more like an adult scene. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
downtown Brown is definitely more of, like, for the locals
Mm.
and the adults more of. But even then, it's like them owners don't be caring, bro, because they pretty much monopolized all of Northgate to where they even have a big control of the music. Like, even
Mm.
as DJs, they'll tell us, this goes hand in hand with what you're saying. Okay, we don't want to hear a lot of this. And
Mm.
you know what they trying to say more. We don't want to hear a lot of nigga music, bro. It's like, y'all don't have to say it like that because, and I've had them, they try to tiptoe and walk on eggshells around saying we don't want, quote unquote, a lot of hip hop or, music for this certain demographic or these certain people. But you'll have the white kids over here and they're begging to hear this shit. White people love that type of music too. They just don't know how to display it,
Mm-hmm. And
in a way that it comes off like
exactly, I get
this is
exactly what you're
our
saying.
parents are gonna accept it. And this is no offense to any of my white friends. I'm just saying what I've noticed from my perspective. I love all people, man. I ain't got no problem with that shit. But when the owners, just like for you to notice that, the owners have control in that also. Now, I'm
Mm-hmm.
blessed to say honestly, when I was at Icon, they never really just. That's why I had free range to play whatever I wanted. But I kind of knew that okay, I can't go too far into that bag because statistically, and this is why I say I can understand the business side of it. Also, white people do spend more money in a bar out here.
Mm-hmm.
I get that completely. They spend more money. They have money from their parents or whatever they may have. They're gonna spend more at the bar. They're gonna wake up the next morning and be like, "Damn, dude, I spent $1,500 at the bar buying shots for everybody, man.
That was,
Fuck, my mom's gonna be mad at me. She's still gonna give me money." Shit
I
like that,
seen it, done it, just here and there.
bro.
Little nights where you look at your bank account and shit was not the same the night before.
Me today, I did that shit yesterday. Whoa, got hit across the head, but hey, we keep moving.
That's how we move, man.
Yeah.
We get up, we get dust shoulders off a little bit, keep it
going,
pushing.
bro.
You listen to Larry June, so I already know.
Oh, bro.
When I saw that on your Twitter too, I was like, you listen to Larry June? I was like, I already know I'm gonna fuck with him.
Bro, I to this day, it's a running joke for me. I'm like, damn, I found Larry during the pandemic on accident. And I actually found him through a Primo Rice. I don't know if it was an ad or a post.
My boy.
Yeah,
My boy.
bro, I
already.
found Larry through Primo, and
I did. Mine was opposite. I found Primo through Larry. Yeah.
bro, I think it was an ad Primo was running at the time. I found him during the pandemic. And I must have listened to Booty Girl Club about 50,000 times.
Yep.
Bro, I was the girl I was dating at the time, she was like, "Stop listening to that shit." Bro, I
It's
played
like
that bitch from sun up to
sundown.
And bro, on repeat. But I found him during the pandemic, and I'm like, bro, to this day, I was like, I'm the first person in Texas to ever say something about Larry June. I be joking about it.
No,
I'm
like
the first person to say something.
I be
None of
feeling.
y'all was listening to
I be
me.
feeling the same exact way, bro. It was about around the same time. I think it was like winter 2019, like coming into the pandemic. First of all, I was like, I should start listening to Larry June earlier because as soon as I start listening to him, I start making more money. Like I don't. It just went hand in hand. Like as soon it just put me in like a. I don't know, his music, like what he was saying was like a lot different than just like the normal rap. Not even that, just the sound alone.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not the full 808s and everything. Just much more smooth, just like something
like
to chill
some
to.
smooth, knowledge, give you
Mm,
some game, get out
mm-hmm.
the way.
You know what I'm
Next song
saying?
coming with the
Give you a
same
little fun. Give
thing.
you a little fun.
Yeah,
Give you a
say
little bit
something
of.
funny maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I went to what have I been? I've been to two of his concerts already.
Austin and Houston.
I went to the one in Austin and in
Mm.
Houston, bro.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. I bought all the shirts. I'm a huge fan, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just like shit when you connect with an artist and you like them. Shit, fuck it.
Yeah, no, I
You
put
know?
people. I started putting too many people on Larry June after a while. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't think everybody can listen to Larry June like that. But
Some people aren't receptive at first, but fuck them.
like, I just seen how he's evolved, especially with his sound. You know what I mean? Like, cause he started off like a lot different. I looked back at his discography, and it was like he's been like going since 2013. But then like 2017, 2018 is when like he started putting that like that's the smoother stuff on there, and then that's when he just caught fire and
Kicked it in the
like
gear, bro.
and it's like he's a mix of cause it's cool. He's from I think it's he's born in California, grew up in Atlanta for a little bit, and then moved back.
to the Bay.
And so it's like you hear the southern sound from him, and then you hear that West Coast sound from him, like mashed together. You know what I'm saying?
His music is heavily West Coast influenced.
Mhm.
You got that bounce, like that Bay Area, got a bounce to it like none other. Like you can hear that shit, you can feel it.
Exactly. Like it's a different kind of put you in a different kind of zone. I don't know.
It's
Like
good feeling music to me. I love it.
oh yeah, like California music. There's a set. I mean, there's a set and I had these lights on too. Whenever I put on like like a quote unquote California playlist, so I'm just like, it's always like a certain time for me. Like when the sun's going down, or like driving home. For like instance, like I'll give you one song. You Know How We Do It by Ice Cube.
I don't.
No,
Off the top of my head,
not top of your
I
head,
don't think so.
or even Straight Up Menace by MC8.
I don't think so.
No, so I'm a West
Yeah,
Coast.
I know. I got a deep bag
I-
of music.
like-
But if you know something, put me on.
Oh no, I
I'm
got
always
you. No,
learning.
no. So and music's one of those
And maybe
things.
if I heard them too at the same time, like, you know.
Yeah, no, like it's a full playlist. I put a YouTube playlist on and just let it run. If I'm just chilling, doing work or something like that, playing chess or whatever. And so, but no. So, do you ever produce for anybody?
I don't. I've dabbled in production, but I never really sat down to finish learning per se. But it does go hand in hand. Like I can make a beat on spot,
Mm-hmm.
just something simple, but I ain't too intricate with it. Like
Okay.
down in depth with it, but no.
You ever look into it at all?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, like, you're like-
I have a beat pad,
Mm.
and all that. I have all the software. I just never sat down with it.
Okay.
Or as of now, it just never was like. I didn't want to go down that road.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like like all the most successful DJs are producers.
Mm-hmm.
But
Got
I
at least
just
some
never-
kind of hand in it. You know what I'm saying?
But I understand it. Like DJing and production goes hand in hand. Like any producer could probably easily get up and DJ at
Mhm.
any given time if they've never tried it.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd probably be harder for a DJ to transition over into that. But yeah.
Well, one thing I found, like, just like from cause the last weekend was the first time I've been out in a minute. So just from like observing the club and everything was not only that like the crowd control element of it, and then also like the flow of song to song. You know what I'm saying? We went to I think it was Social. I think.
Social.
Yeah, I ain't been there in a minute. But also the biggest thing I realized was like going like just the overarching like what I've been seeing lately, especially within like the YouTube game, especially TikTok and everything, is just the same perspective of like the topic of social dynamics between like men and women, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And like I saw that in the club too as well. And cause I fell down that rabbit hole of watching all the YouTube videos and shit, and then having like an ideology, and then like I snapped out of it, and I was like started seeing everything for what it was. I was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? And so like,
You're only one person to say that.
you know what I'm saying? Like, especially with I want to get canceled, but the Andrew Tate shit, all that shit, bro. I was like, God damn. I was like, it's a very touchy subject. That's why I kind of stay away from it on the podcast. I ain't trying to we ain't big enough to get canceled yet. You know what I'm saying? But no, it was well, I realized in the club it was not the same as it was when I was like, I'll say probably like 2017 when I graduated high school, and like remember when everybody was like. That was the time when everybody was like jigging. Everybody was like, it was a little more crunk back then,
I say, like around that time, it was kind of. I'm not gonna say dying out, but it was kind of.
It had its last little like peak. You know what I'm saying?
Out the door more, because when that jigging shit was tough, that jigging shit it was an error, bro.
And like even in the club, you'd see it.
Here, West Coast, like people all over have their own definition of jigging, bro. But like when we're in talking about Texas jigging, like yeah, Texas jigging is tough.
But I remember I was in the club and I heard a song. I'm like, back in the day, bro, everybody be jigging to this shit,
Yeah.
but nobody was doing anything.
We kind of just had a talk about that when I picked him
Mm,
up. It's like songs only have so long of a shelf life to have that. Like, okay, you hear it, it's an instant hit. It might
mm,
make people move, but then after a while, if you play it, it's like
mm,
not too much is gonna happen. It might be one or two people that might know it. It might still be a hit,
mm-hmm.
but it ain't like. For example, this is even before all of us. Like, imagine if we would have grew up around the time, or we would have been like, I guess, teenagers or adults or whatever around the time when Montel Jordan dropped. This is how we do it. For
Mm.
example, you don't think motherfuckers in that bitch dancing?
Yeah, but that's what I'm
Their ass
saying.
off? But now if we hear it, it's just like, oh, it jam, like, but
Mm.
we ain't finna get out there and
I mean,
do all
like,
that shit.
we
Like,
might, cause like we kind of like
yeah,
it. I think it might be just a generational thing at that point,
that's what I'm
honestly.
saying. Like, songs
Like,
only have that effect on people. For so people are naturally followers.
and there's always another hit
Too.
song out another
Oh
day. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Just, like TikTok, there's always
just
another
like what you were
huge
saying.
TikTok
Yep.
song. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody's always wanting something else. You know, something new. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and even I was thinking, I was like, there's songs. I'm going back in my bag, and I'm like, there's songs you can throw back in there from like 10, 20 years ago, like in the club that everybody's gonna dance to. You know what I mean? Like even if it's like hip hop or like I think it
Mm-hmm.
was a Chameleonaire song, Turn It Up
Turn it
with
up
Lil
with
Flip.
Lil Flip. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, bro, if play this in the club, bro, the club is jumping. Like, you know, or at least back in the day.
Back in the day,
You know?
now people gonna be like,
It's
from
like,
a
you know,
DJ perspective, bro. If I was to play that right now, I have to be in the right demographic or the right
mm,
age range to play something like that, and
mm,
to where it would be truly appreciated in its greatness. Put it like that.
okay.
Like here, now, people just graduated. For example, from my perspective, Northgate is always you're gonna get every semester. There's gonna be a new rotation of people.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be freshmen. I feel like, in my opinion, only people from like their freshman to maybe junior year really just end up going out to Northgate like on that consistent level. More freshman, sophomore, like on that
Because we want to
consistent
get
level.
out, like,
Freshman for sure.
mm-hmm.
But other than that, like when people are trying to get out of here, they might go out every so often, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So
Even then, probably go to like just a bar. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
you
Not even
get
to like.
you only gonna do so much in College Station
At
on
that
Northgate,
point,
bro.
when you junior year, you can buy alcohol, just drink at the house.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Out here, people finally gonna figure that shit out, regardless, bro.
You know.
But yeah.
So when it comes, so y'all had an event in Bryan last week, or was it a DJ event?
DJ battle?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was in College Station. At Four Downs. Shout out to Four Downs.
Okay.
Hold it down.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was a DJ battle. It was an idea that I wanted to see brought to life because I have competed in them myself, and then out here, I just felt like the culture of DJing, like, it's really not gonna say slept on. It's just not enough attention and awareness brought to it. Like, we really do have some great guys out here that can DJ, you know, when they're given the opportunity and put in the right position.
Mm.
And just kind of, you know, the owners will trust the DJs more and they kind of work together. But anyways, the DJ battle, he was actually a contestant. Shout out to Jay Smith. Shout out to Stein,
Yes, sir.
Benny, Busy, for helping me pull off the first one. I'm having another one in August also.
Okay.
Hopefully you'll have time to come out.
Yes,
August
sir.
27th.
27th?
That's the tentative date for now.
Was 4 downs again, probably.
Probably 4 downs again.
Okay.
More than likely, probably 99% sure on that. But yeah, the DJ battle, the format was 4 DJs, 4 categories. One of them was 99s to 2000s, international, R&B, and then the very last one was like a freestyle.
Okay.
And they got 5 to 8 minutes for each round, each DJ, and they got to just go out there and do their thing. And it really gets to display, you know, the DJ's talent, how much support people actually have for them, and then how creative they can actually get when given these certain scenarios, you know, or put in this environment. Like, if you had to play a mix for R&B or all girls mix, what you gonna do? You know, and it's like they had time to prepare too, so that adds a little bit more to it. It's not like you were thrown in there.
Okay.
You try to do it on the spot. So
Okay.
yeah, that's
I
what
like
was the
that.
first one. It went great. Everything was smooth. Yeah, just looking forward to it again.
You try to get more DJs next time?
No, see, that's the thing. Like, 4 is the perfect number because then it becomes too long.
Okay. So how much time for each category for each
so
DJ?
5 to 8 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
5
So,
to 8 minutes for each.
okay,
So
that's
that gives
roughly.
you like an hour roughly for each DJ. I mean, you don't want to do like 6, 8 DJs, then you got to wait for all of them to go through. And, you know, there's only so many songs within that might be popular within those categories that are going to be repeated. So I think 4 is like the perfect number. I've seen it done with 6 too though, but it was just too long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to like going back to what I was talking about in the club with social dynamics, like I said, following each other on Twitter, we see a lot of the same stuff we talk about and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to, I think the biggest overarching thing of what I was talking about earlier with the social dynamics was like, for at least like, because the biggest thing I noticed in the club was like I said, like the jigging was not there anymore. You know what I mean? But I think about it, I was like, we used to just do that just with our homies. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like just 'cause like we out here having fun. And it told me two things. I was like, one, I don't think people really know how to enjoy themselves anymore like that. And two, niggas only doing stuff for women. Niggas
Yeah.
only doing stuff for women in the club or the perceived attention of somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say this, and it might sound goofy to go into your points. One, I feel like over the years did or we did lose that. How do I say this? People lost that how to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it because people are too worried about being judged. People are worried about people recording them. When ultimately we shouldn't give a fuck because everybody's human. And if you want to dance and you can't even dance, just do it. If it make you feel good, then do it. But I noticed that once when I DJ'd an Indian wedding, bro, and their culture is not gonna say this is nothing against it. It's not they don't give a fuck. They know how to naturally still have fun like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watch them. They
know how to let loose.
Yeah, they
you
just
know?
have fun, bro. They dance. They do their dances. Nobody's judged. Nobody's worried about being on their phone recording unless it's like genuine. But they genuinely have a good time and they don't care. Two, dancing is also, in my mind, a mating ritual. So it's like
Nah, you're not
the
wrong.
flamingo flocks his feathers and shit, and how the lion does what he does.
Mm.
Dancing, when males are over aggressively dancing, it's like they want to be impressed by females, or they want to impress the females.
Mm.
So in my mind, I'm thinking, are they dancing? It's a part of a mating call because you want to seek more attention, validation from a female. So that's why we people do dancing and do extra shit for females in the club. Females do the same shit, they just do it in a different way.
But even then, like I just saw like everybody standing around, like nobody doing nothing. I'm like, damn, like is this just how it is now?
Yeah.
And then there was a couple songs that like people started dancing to, and I was kind of I didn't like the songs, so I was like, I'm not a club person anyway. I'm more just staying to the house. I go out every now and then because like I actually want to have like just get out the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do need humans need social interaction also, bro.
I've been working on that lately too. Just like there's times when I'm driving around town, I'm like, damn, they built that shit. I'm like, I need to get,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's like I need to get out more and kind of like do some more shit.
He just saw the little custard place right here, and we were like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot it was there. I knew it was there, but I forgot till he said something. But yeah, bro, humans definitely need social interaction. Not even to go off into that, but I'm like that too, bro. I like to think of myself as an omnivert. I'm really an introvert more than anything. I like being in control spaces. I like knowing I'm in the comfort of my zone. Like this right here, your setting is really chill, laid back. Like you made this comfortable for yourself.
Oh, thank you.
But then again, I have this light switch I can turn on any second. I can be social. I can go out. I hate being in big crowds, but I know how to deal with them. It's crazy too. I hate loud music.
Really?
Bro, people look
As
at
a
me like
DJ?
that when I say that.
Wait.
No, I do not like loud music. I bear with it. It doesn't bother me, but if I had my choice, it would not be loud. Like I don't like loud settings. I don't like big crowds. But I learned how to DJ and I kind of grew through it.
Okay.
I learned how to figure it out because I haven't been shot since I was a fucking kid. So that was not the issue. It's just like I had to learn how to maneuver through the crowd.
Yeah. I'm
the
saying
music.
I'm same kind of way. Like just like too much. It's like too much kind of overload on you sometimes.
Yeah, like
it's kind of like
knowing I'm controlled in the situation.
But if I can flip
I don't
that
trust
switch,
other people.
Exactly that too is like just don't know who's around me and everything. That's big. That's another big thing too. I think it's like, because my biggest thing has been on just like social dynamics, especially with my podcast lately, is just how people are just interacting with each other nowadays. The biggest thing that gets highlighted just from like again social media, YouTube, and all that is like just between men and women stuff like that. But then you go into just like people in general and how people are interacting with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And even walking down the street, you know, I've said this on the podcast before. People don't even like make eye contact that much anymore, or even
I
like
do. Damn it.
you
I
know,
hate when people don't.
like
Yeah,
you
I
just
do.
like expecting to like see something, just like at least nod or like
Mm-hmm.
acknowledgement. You know,
I definitely do, bro. Cause well, till I tore my Achilles. I jog a lot, and I'll go just like randomly
still
walk
torn.
through my neighborhood. I've torn both of these, bro.
Oh shit.
Yeah, SOL, shit out of luck.
Yeah, right. ACL
Damn,
surgery.
shit sucks.
Yeah, no, you an athlete too.
I play basketball,
Okay.
so I'm very active. I work out all the time. Can't wait to start playing basketball again and running. But yeah, I was like, get back to the point. Like, I'll go walking through random neighborhoods, not thinking that black men in America walking through different neighborhoods, but I'll
Right.
go walking, usually I'll see like a white person or somebody, and not even to harp on white people, but it's usually the neighborhoods I walk in, not a lot of my people live there.
Mm-hmm.
But I always like speak or just head nod or something, and sometimes, they're receptive and they actually do say something funny, or we'll have like a short, genuine exchange, or whatever it may be. But I always, bro, my grandpa's like that. He'll wave and talk to anybody, so I pick that up from him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What would you say the importance of, especially just to tie everything into one, the importance of everybody just like sticking to themselves? Well, I would say stick to themselves, but like in that sense of just doing you, and just anything outside of anything that doesn't go your way necessarily, or like just like you said, you just quit DJing at Northgate. How long ago?
About a year.
A year ago.
Approximately a year.
And so now you said you're doing a lot better than you ever have.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with that, like taking that leap of like that leap of faith of like leaving something that's a little bit more secure to just go do your own thing. What would you say about that for like people who want to take that next step and like pursuing something else and like taking that leap? You know what I'm saying?
Do that shit.
Mhm.
Do that shit.
Straight
Don't
up.
be worried, bro, like that. Not even. I'll kind of go in and out of that question, but my first leap of faith was me actually quitting my corporate job and saying fuck that, I'm gonna just go DJ because it makes me happy. Like, I feel like that's a part of my purpose, as opposed to me sitting in here dealing with coworkers I might not like, or having to deal with. At the time, I had to deal with residents because they were planning to move me up in management, like at this apartment complex out here. And I was just like, man, one day, and it wasn't even my fault. Like, a dude had came in there from Florida trying to move his daughter in, and he come in there. I'm the only one working on a Sunday. None of this shit's my fault. He come in there hot because the apartment wasn't ready. I was like, he came in there hot, yelling. I just looked at him and was like, man, I really slapped the fuck out of you. But for my job,
But in a job mode, you just
yeah,
like,
you got to put that Kingsman English on. You got to bring it back down. And I was like, sir, I apologize. I'm not sure what's going on. Just give me a second to figure it out. But anyways, I quit the job. I remember I had been trying to quit. They didn't have nobody else to come in. So like for a month, my 2 weeks notice is already over a month. And so I'm just like, one day they'll check on me. They're like, hey, are you coming in today? Like, I was like, nah, I'm gonna go back to sleep.
you know what I'm
Not
saying?
like that, but I remember that feeling of, because I was getting booked like crazy, and it wasn't just like a 1 week, 2 week thing. It was like shit was coming months in advance, and I was like, okay, I can go with this momentum right here, or I can continue. And they also, like, they wanted to move me up, but they were like, hey, you're not hitting your 40, 45 hours anymore because we're allowing you to go leave to do this, da-da-da. But I would always have some, I get both sides. I would always have somebody to cover my shit. Like, I was literally paying my coworkers to come, like, hey, take my shift, like, But do that shit, because that's the only way. I feel like you cheat yourself in life if you don't ever try to bank on yourself, because we only getting one life to live for one. And then one day you don't want to look back and be like, damn, well, if I had just jumped off the porch and started my podcast or started DJing, now I'm 90 years old, who the fuck I'm going to talk to? Don't nobody want to listen to me. I'm 90. Like, all my people dead or some shit like that. Jump off the fucking porch. You going to fail. You going to bump your head. You going to be broke. You going to sleep in your truck. You going to cry. Maybe that's some of my story, but you gonna do some shit, then you gonna be like, fuck this, and you might want to go back to working a regular job, which you might have to, but
Mhm.
you only getting one life to live, so you cheating the fuck out of yourself if you don't explore your purpose.
And I'm at that point now where it's like I was in that same spot. I was working at Target, bro, and I quit that shit, like, cause I would go in there every day, and I just got to that point where I didn't give a fuck. Cause really, I was
And
like,
that's a bad space to be in.
I was like, I come here. I was in I was in a spot like that summer. That's when I got back into school. Cause I was like, I'll just go to work and home, and that's it.
Yeah,
And I was like, bro, I need something else. You know what I mean? Something to focus on. And something that's gonna also improve myself. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
definitely.
And so I got into school, but then I had 8-week courses. So right after the 8-week courses ended, I was right back to the just going work, home, work, home. And so it's like, and so I got in that point. I'm like, I haven't been doing podcasting either because I had like equipment mess up and everything. And so I had to completely 360 or 180 that and just start doing all of that a lot differently. I had to do the same thing with this setup now from where I had it in when I lived last year.
Uh-huh.
And so, but it was one day I was working, and really also because I was getting paid like 15 an hour, but I was stocking, and if they ever needed me to go do a cashier, I had to go do cashier. If they needed me to go do a delivery, I need to go do like a little delivery, something like that.
That's how
So
you
I'm
do
seeing,
you.
I'm like, so I asked, I was like, how come I'm getting paid the same as someone who just cashiers? You know what I'm saying? If I do 3 times the amount of work.
And they gave you the most bullshit answer possible.
Exactly.
Run
You know what I'm saying? And they took me in the office. It was some funny shit. They were like, so we just noticed like you just haven't had any effort like lately. I'm like, I don't. I was like, y'all pay me every 2 weeks. The paycheck still hits my account. I
Mm-hmm.
said I still show up to work, and said because you got motherfuckers who don't show up to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Crazy space to be in, bro. I don't
Mhm.
mean to cut you off, but it's like they ultimately don't give a fuck because
Mhm.
the corporate structure is like, okay, it's millions and billions of people in this world. If Caleb don't want to work, we got plenty of applications over here waiting. Let's get him out of here. He don't. They'll fucking fire you. You was getting paid $15 and go hire a motherfucker and pay him 12 and be they won twice.
You know, exactly. And so, and even then, like I was whenever I'm working, it was kind of like I'm cool with everybody, and like I work good, but like I gone through so much shit over there. I'm just like I just don't have time to deal with the manager being passive aggressive. In the same way, I'm like, nigga, I slap the fuck out you right now, talking to me like that, you know.
Yep.
But it's like you get back to like, I need a job, rent, all those things start popping off in your head, and you're
Yeah.
like, damn. And so you just go back to just what you know, and then but they'd ask me, they were like, look, we either need full effort out of you, or like, if you not, I'm like. Man, I took
Shit.
nigga, I straight took that name tag off like this in the office. I said, yeah,
Yeah,
I see y'all.
bro.
I was like, y'all ain't getting no full effort out of me. You know what I'm saying?
At least
And
you were
like,
honest with him
mm,
about it. Like,
and so I left that area so clear headed, bro. It was crazy.
feel
I was
good,
like, I
huh?
felt great. I was like, bro,
Yeah.
I'm jobless. I feel great.
Shit feel
And
good.
then I had a month where I was just podcasting, and it felt amazing. But then after that month, I was like, damn,
Gotta pay the bills.
I got to pay bills. So I
Back
was
to
like.
reality, bro.
But I got a job now. It's like I like a lot better. I work in sales, and so like it's a spot where I can interact with people a little bit more freely, but also have that freedom to kind of like be my own salesman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still have the little things to do around like the shop and just keep it like clean and all that. But like other than that, like the actual interaction is all me. You know what I'm saying? The person people get keeping the store going is us.
Usually,
You know what I'm saying?
there's only one person in there when you're working.
No, it's usually about like it's a handful of people in there working.
I
Yeah,
think I've
so.
been in there. I seen like two, but I was like in a situation like that. Well, with all the merchandise and stuff y'all have in there, you would want more than one person, working, of course. But I was like, that could be like a one person thing. I could see that.
But
Yeah.
at least on that level of like being a salesman, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
and actually having that level of just human interaction, you know what I'm saying,
Definitely.
and actually being able to explain things to people in a way that they can not only understand, but then also they want to actually like get that thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's a
So
grinder for your tobacco.
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You gotta make everything
Yeah.
everything sound perfect and everything,
I don't
but
even know if I can say that on here, but yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, sure, if we can, we
That's
can.
what the dude told me. Not that I was looking to buy a grinder for anything.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey,
for your tobacco.
they sell them, bro. I mean, like,
Yeah.
shit. Why we not gonna buy them?
Why not?
You know what I'm saying?
I see no harm.
I mean,
harm, no
like,
foul.
the biggest thing was that Delta. A lot of people been liking that Delta 8 gummy stuff.
For real,
Mm-hmm.
bro. Was that what you got yesterday? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
dude. Randomly was handing them out on 6th Street.
Get people fucked up and shit.
When I tried one,
Really?
for real.
Mm.
Just cause it was just one. He gave you a regular gummy bear.
Yeah, now here in Texas they be on the
Yeah.
bullshit, bro. Cause like it's a decent I would say for anybody who has never indulged in the real thing, it's a good starter, you know, cause it's more of that like it's like roughly 2/3 the strength of like what actual shit would be.
It's like
And so
Reggie almost.
it's essentially yeah, you know, you get a nice little, you might get a headache
I
from
think
it, you
Reggie
know.
might be stronger than that, but because I indulged in some Delta 8 once, and I felt so like, why the fuck did that happen? I don't feel not that I was looking for anything crazy, but I was like, that was a waste of fucking time.
Mm.
I ain't feel my
Yeah.
personal opinion. I ain't feel shit,
Mm.
but yeah,
Yeah,
Delta
no,
8.
they just need to let it. That's just they just need to let us have fun, bro. Honestly, cause it's I don't want to get into all the legalization. I've done
Yeah.
podcasts on that before, and I'm just like, man, there's only so much I can do for the lawmakers. You know what I'm saying? They just want us to keep voting.
In Texas, boy,
Man,
come with it if that's ever gonna happen. Texas too fucking big.
you know.
Texas ain't world.
I mean, it's just too like it's just an industry that would make so much more money, bro. Than
Texas, all the land.
it would
out here,
take
all the people
over.
that really, it's people waiting. It's people that already have. Well, there's already farms out here.
Oh, you know what? They already got the shit ready. They already prepared. They got the shit ready.
Has been waiting on this shit. Just come on and make it happen.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be here either way. Shit, it ain't stopping nothing. Put it like that.
So, last thing before we get out of here, what would be like the 3 things you tell people to stick with in life? Like, just keep going.
Stick with them.
Yeah, like something like you, like Adonis's 3 things for life.
I got 2 of them. Let me see. I'm gonna say the 2, and then maybe the third one will come to me. So number 1 would be never stop learning. If you're not learning on any level, learning anything, it don't even matter if you just learned how to shut the door differently. Never stop learning. It's definitely one that I stick to because you should always be trying to figure some shit out daily. There shouldn't go a day. A day shouldn't go by where you didn't even learn like the smallest thing. So I always try to challenge myself. I love reading books, love watching podcasts, love listening to people talk or study people in general, just to see like, hey, there's a reason why that person moves like that. So yeah, never stop learning would be 1. 2 would be never, and it kind of goes hand in hand, but never stop trying to discover yourself, because we as humans, we've been through a lot of shit in life, and we don't realize that it affects the way we are now as we get older. Especially shit from childhood, like trauma that we haven't unpacked, and that's something I'm discovering for myself more of now than anything with my battles.
Same here. I'll
But
say
never
that.
stop trying to find yourself and what makes you happy in this life. Stay true to yourself, because we only got one life to live, bro. Like, ain't no rewind to this shit. Like, once we close our eyes and take our final breath, whenever that may be, it's over. So why sit out here and be worried about other people and what they think or what they got going on? If we just focus on ourselves, we'll be better in the end. So yeah, never stop trying to learn yourself and progress yourself, which those 2 kind of go hand in hand. And then third, shit, don't settle for no sucker shit.
You know what I'm
Don't let
saying?
them trick you out your position, knock you off your pivot. Fuck them. If you got some haters or whatever you think somebody hate, fuck them, man. You ain't gotta be worried about them. Just don't settle for no sucker shit. That's my third one.
Yeah, I like that. That's one. Hey, shit, I
No
can take
sucker
that one.
shit today.
I can put that shit in my pocket for myself, honestly.
Yeah.
You know,
No sucker shit, man. On any level.
just stay. But I think that goes hand in hand with like staying true to yourself. It's just
Yeah,
anything.
they all kinda ran together,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I mean it's all just all encompasses how you live your life. Honestly, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
I was gonna ask you about your
Ask
get deep in
away.
like philosophy and stuff like that. But it's like what time again?
Bro, you can ask.
Oh shit! I was about to say, like, so you talking about 'cause I was about to say you like working on yourself. Have you heard the difference of Well, before I ask you that, are you religious?
I'm not.
Okay.
And I will say why, because I don't want people to be like, oh, because I've had. That's another thing. Motherfuckers don't listen. Can I add another point to what you said earlier?
Right.
Three things. I'm gonna add four. Listen to understand, not to respond. And I say that because the question you just asked me, I had a girl ask me about 2-3 weeks ago, was I religious? And before I could even like explain myself, she was like, "Oh, you're a Satanist." And I was like, "Whoa!" Like I hadn't even
Left.
I haven't even took off of what I'm gonna say. Not that I'm gonna take off on you, but my thing is, I did grow up Southern Baptist. My grandpa's a really big pastor. You know, he's in his latter years now. But I grew up in the church, and that's kind of goes back into how we discovered music. My grandpa was a really big singer. My grandma could sing too. My grandpa used to travel in this gospel band back in the day. But he made sure that all his kids knew how to play something or sing, and they kind of trickled down the tree.
It's good skill to have, knowing how
yeah,
to play an instrument.
Back to religion, I grew up, like I said, Southern Baptist. And as I got older and I began to travel and I began to interact with more people, I would see that they had different religions, and they had different upbringings and things that they viewed from a religious standpoint. And so, I've always been, since I was little, a very I question everything, just to see if it makes sense to me. Um, and so I know one day I was just like, and I was always the kid in like vacation Bible school, like Bible study, to be like, ask them like, well, if Jesus did this, then why couldn't he do this? Or for example, why would being black, I was like, well, why would Jesus let black people be enslaved and not the other races? Like, what's he have against black people? And I'm black. Or so it would be like, okay, what if my Indian friend, and this is when I got older and I started being around different people, I was like, well, damn, I got an Indian friend, like, he worships a completely different God. Like, they got something completely different going on over here. Is he going to the same heaven as me? Is there multiple heavens? Is there multiple gods? And I sum that question up by saying, if something is something, we shouldn't have to question it. This microphone, if I ask you what it is, it's a microphone. It can be no more, no less. That I don't have to question it. I don't feel like I should have to question religion as much. So my thing is, I'm not religious because I don't fully understand it. I don't think that anyone truly does. To be honest, I think we go off of what we're brought up on, what we hear, what we think is right. People are gonna go off what they think is right. Humans are gonna go off what they think is good. So my perspective is, I'm not religious, but I do believe in treating people fairly. I believe in treating people with the same respect. I believe in being a great person, not a good person, but a great person. And I just believe that if we do have a higher being, whatever that higher being may be, I don't know. Whatever it is, if I treat people good, then maybe whenever I get to the afterlife, he'll be like, okay, you are great. Or he or she, we don't know.
I'm about to say, you hit me with the I don't. You hit me with the I don't know. You a true agnostic because you actually sit back and say, like, be objective, be like, look, I don't something I don't
I don't
understand.
understand it. It's too much to question. So with stuff like that, I mean, I just kind of, I don't shame anybody for believing in who they believe in, but I do not appreciate when people come across forcefully with their religious views. Like, don't try to put that on me and try to come over here and rub some oil on my head and push me back and say that you're healed, or.
You talk about old white dude in Northgate, right?
Oh, not even him. I'm just saying, like, I grew up
no,
seeing that.
oh no,
So
I
I'm
took
like,
his dolly one day. I ain't gonna lie to you.
damn, boy.
Well, cause like, bro, I was sitting there trying to have a conversation with him, and I was telling him about how, cause I also had the same kind of, I've been going through the same thing like you're talking about right now with how like, we grew up being taught this one thing, and now we're kind of like coming into our own as adults and kind of expounding about what we know and what we want, and kind of like how we see how we should live the world, live our lives in the world. Not necessarily getting far away from what we were taught. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're still gonna treat people just as you treat yourself. Respectfully. And so I was talking to him about that, and I was like, man, honestly, like, you telling me like we can't like commune with other religions and stuff like that? I was like, cause if you cut us all open, I mean, we all gonna bleed red. You know what I'm saying?
Think we not?
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, well, no, we can't be with those people. I was like, well, why not? And he's like, well, young man, have a good night. I was like, man.
They never have. Once you get them down to that point of they have no answer, that's when they're like, oh, you're wrong. That's all it is after that.
Just
you're wrong.
shame.
I'm done talking to you. And then next time they see you, they're going to treat you differently. Which in the Bible, what does it say? What's one of the 10 Commandments? Thou shalt not judge.
Exactly.
I'm like, bro, some of the people, even my family members, like, they're some of the most judgmental holy rollers, and this is not a shot at anybody in my family, like at all. But it's like I don't feel like I should be judged or anybody else should be judged just for living our life how we live it. And I think that you should just still extend love to them. If you don't agree with them, just still extend love to them. You don't have to like everything they do or agree with it. I mean, they ain't hurting you, so I extend love. That's all
I'm,
I
I'm
do.
glad I invited you on this podcast, bro. Cause like we talk about the kind of have that same kind of mindset when it comes to just like perspective on life, which kind of like life philosophy
It's
kind of thing. You know
appreciated,
what I'm
bro.
saying? And it's just kind of having like a more of like a free, open mind with things like and like that. But
Yeah, open mindedness.
I was about to say there was a video I was watching the other day. Two things. It was about set theory. Yeah,
Set theory.
set theory
What
with
is that exactly?
it's how things are divided. So you remember doing like Venn diagrams and like probability and stuff like that,
Yes.
stuff like kind of like that. And with the thing of like if it is, then it isn't. You know what I mean? So if something is a set of itself in like derivatives and calculus like that,
Yes.
and so it was. I watched like a whole 22-minute video. It was about Russell's dilemma. It was a mathematician who was going through the steps of listing out the actual like rules of set theory, which all go like logically and stuff like that. And I was studying philosophy and stuff like that too, so understanding like logic and how things like line up within a certain way.
Hmm.
And so but he got to the dilemma, the rule that was the dilemma, and it basically undid all the rules because and so
I'm
because it
gonna have
said
to look at this.
and so it's like if it is, I'm gonna show you when we get done. But it's, if it is,
Hmm.
then it isn't, and if it isn't, then it is. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It's kind of like the as above, so below.
Yes.
You know, same
Okay.
kind of thing. What goes around comes around
Hmm.
type thing. And so, I mean, you got to watch the whole entire thing because it gets into numbers and stuff like that. So it's
Okay.
like, but the second thing, it was, have you heard of the difference between exocentric and esocentric religion? Exocentric and esocentric religion.
So I know for sure we went over that shit. I had like a couple of philosophy classes, but I don't remember
Mm-hmm.
exactly what like the premise or the idea of it was.
Hmm. So exocentric is essentially how Christianity is taught to us with how like relation to the outside world, and so with and teaching how we should relate to the outside world more. Rather, esocentric religion is how we relate to ourselves more.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
because it's
Okay.
like as
Okay.
above, so below,
Hmm.
and so it teaches about like how more people go with like to gain outside more worldly things rather than pure spiritual enlightenment from the self and your own personal walk with God.
So in a sense of like, okay, you might
Mm,
be like, okay, I don't really just believe in God like they do, but just
mm,
to fit in and be in the moment, or
mm,
be in church. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and
mm.
rap my
Pray,
ass off.
pray, like just the outward,
I'm
the
gonna do whatever,
outward
but
like
knowing
praise and stuff like that.
inside you're questioning that, right?
Hmm.
You're like, man, fuck, like,
But then esocentric and not going away from, because it's the same thing. It teaches the Bible. You can teach the Bible either exocentrically or esocentrically. You can teach it
mm,
you know what I'm saying? So
okay,
you can get either teaching from the Bible or the religion. You know what I'm saying? And so with that, it was like how you relate to yourself. And I think the biggest thing, especially with the story of Jesus, is how like 'cause I wouldn't say I'm necessarily the most religious person either, but at least with the story of Jesus, the way I interpret it, and kind of like you said earlier with DJing and stuff like that, that purpose. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
You know, and like how like Jesus' purpose is to be the Son of God and to die on the cross and all that, and he lived out his purpose. And I told somebody the other day, I was like, we talk about like following Jesus and like your walk with Jesus. I was like, look, I'm not Jesus, you know, like
thank
I'm not Jesus. God didn't put me here to be Jesus.
you.
God put me here to be Caleb Jackson,
Hmm.
you know, and it's like, and that goes more hand in hand with like, if you treat yourself right and treat your inner self and like trying to reach a spiritual enlightenment like that, then the rest of the outside world won't mean anything to you.
Not at
You know what
all.
I'm
You're in
saying?
tune with yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not that you like ignorant to everything, but it's more of like, in the grand scheme of things, how much does it really matter? Only the real things that matter is just treating people with respect and just knowing how to move.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Being a great person, man.
exactly.
Being the best you can possibly be.
Mm.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. That's something you have to put me on. Let me
I've
see
been I've
that.
been trying to expound upon. 'Cause I
Yeah.
watched like a lot of just like different. I looked at a lot of different philosophies. I'm like, all these sound good. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But like, they're not all right.
Can't
All
be.
these different philosophies and religions. I'm like, so what are they all trying to say? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good ass question.
It's like Cause I mean, it's just a thing of like that's why I have the podcast. At first, I called this podcast the Perspective Podcast, cause like I was getting my perspective on things and stuff like that. And then I think I'm getting to that point now of like getting with people and stuff and getting other people's perspective and working on being me being like you said, a better learner and a better listener too. And so like,
Let me ask you a question. Not even to cut you off.
no, go
So
ahead.
this is you said it started off as the Perspective Podcast.
Hmm.
I'll ask you two questions actually. What made you want to change it from the perspective to using your name?
More appreciation for my name.
Okay, I appreciate. Okay,
Yeah, more
I see
appreciation for
that.
my name and just like the name I was given. You know what I'm saying? And like, cause at first it was perspective with Caleb Jackson, but I was like, no, my model for like podcasting was with Joe Rogan, cause like that he popped out. Of course, pandemic. I mean, I
Hmm.
locked in just
He
watching
super
nothing but
popped off.
podcasts, you know.
Hmm.
And so like I was thinking, I was like, there's nothing wrong with just my name, you know. I said, there's nothing wrong with it. And so I was like, I'm me, and so it's gonna be me. Same way like I got the poster and everything. It's a little conceited, but hey man, I
No,
love
bro.
I love
That's what I
myself.
was gonna ask you next.
You know.
Kind of going into my next question. I definitely didn't even really notice that, but that is dope as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you want to take this next? Caleb Jackson, the Caleb Jackson podcast. Like, I don't know if you think that far along, which I'm pretty sure you do have ideas. And what's like a slight if you could share it with us?
I'm only one man, so like, there's no way I can like get into somebody's brain and change their opinion about something. But the only thing I really can do is just talk to other people and just learn how their brains work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just like I can hope that people can be like you, a good listener, and actually take things in and internalize it, and then like not listen to respond, but listen to actually listen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I think deep down, like I want to see people do good. You know, I want to see the world. I feel like we all want to see the world do good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's only so much control we have over this.
Only
You
so
know?
much. Let me ask you this: would you ever do like TV or like is it just like is this something like just for you and you just want this to be your piece in the world and it stays, I guess, on the platforms you've chosen to share with the world, or do you want to do something like bigger with it eventually? You think?
Eventually, yeah.
Because you have, I say that,
Mm.
not even cut you off. I say that because you have, you ask thought provoking questions. You have a great speaker's tone, and you know how to like control your tonality, and you have everything, bro. Like,
Oh, thank you.
where would you want to like take this? You got a mind on you, like.
I mean, podcasting. I mean, especially with like the YouTube and everything. At least getting off my feet, I'm like, I just, I want to be, out there. I want to say, think it'd be like TV. 'Cause I think just like in the grand scheme of things, TV is gonna fizzle out after a while. And radio, same thing with radio. And so like, everything is just streaming and like YouTube and podcasting now.
It's a new wave.
And so
It's a wave.
I wouldn't mind being like I think for now at least podcasting is just like it's what I do, and so like it's my natural talent I would say, and so I think I'll just let it take me to where it's next. You know what I'm saying? And kind of like, and this is kind of like teaching me to kind of like the hardest thing to do in life is stay consistent. You know, staying
Especially when
consistent.
you're one man too.
Exactly. You got bills to pay. You working. You got other things going on, but you got to just stay with what you're doing and just stay focused and just not let all the distractions and stuff like that. Same thing with like I think that's the biggest thing going like because I encompass it all with social dynamics because like I think my biggest thing in my life that I'm learning about is just overall relationships with people. And
Definitely.
so going back to like social dynamics and stuff like that. Like especially being a guy, especially 20. Once you turn like, be honest, once you smell some pussy, all right, like let's be real. Once you smell some pussy, like the trap door is always open for you as a
Yeah,
guy, bro. You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
And there's always just another distract. Not saying, look, I love women. We love y'all, all right. But to us, y'all distraction. Y'all can distract us. Y'all
That can
can.
go both ways,
You know
though,
what I'm
bro.
saying? It can go both ways for
Yeah.
everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about
But
discipline.
you,
Discipline.
I just have some discipline, but it's also, and not to say like you can't have fun or anything and not be out there, but it just
Mhm.
comes with like just being just a level of being a balanced person, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Or just finding your own level of balance, and that also goes with just not reacting to the outside world, just being balanced in every situation.
outside world. Sad to say, but it's meant to distract you. It's meant to fuck you over. Like you gotta have that discipline. And it's a never-ending battle for all of us as humans. Like there is no perfect human. Like we all have our vices. We all have things that we might overindulge in. And it's just like, how do you get yourself to lock the fuck in and stay focused on what you got going? Consistency is one of them, though. Definitely.
That takes introspection on your end too to realize like, man, I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people too prideful to admit that too.
Oh, bro.
You know?
It's so crazy. Like, but the moment of reality or realization for them when they realize, like, okay, I might not have had this shit figured out.
But everybody's so scared to be wrong, bro.
I'm not.
Everybody, like, oh, yeah, I was okay. I wouldn't say everybody.
For me,
I wouldn't say everybody, but I'll say like a majority of people are scared to be wrong. You know?
Yeah. People are scared to be fucking wrong because we're conditioned, or we see it on TV that you're gonna get made fun of, or people are gonna say you're dumb, or this, that, and the third. I remember when my switch hit for a lot of things, and the switch hitting for that one was like, man, the craziest part is it's kind of like two sides to it. It's like people are scared to be wrong or scared to raise their hand in the classroom, but there's 50 other motherfuckers in there too that got the same question. They just really, you might be a little bit more braver than them, because I've always, bro, in class, if I didn't know some shit, like, or I felt uncomfortable, I didn't give a fuck, like, I'm gonna raise my hand and be like, hey, like you said, 2 plus 2 is 4. Or you said 1 plus 1 is 2, but it might be 3. Like, shit like
You know what I'm saying? Like just just to add, but like
that was a loose example.
because you mean like, well, it goes back to just not being afraid. You know,
Yeah,
I watched a video on Twitter just now. This girl was giving a story about when she was 16. One of her teachers, they walked in and he was like standing in the middle of like he had all the desks like arranged in a circle. He had a goldfish in the middle desk, like in the middle of all the circle. And he was in the middle. He said, everybody sit down and shut up. And if you talk, move, or say anything, you'll fail my class. And so he said, they sat down and everything. They said he took out the goldfish and put it on the table and then walked out the room. And they were like, but they can't talk, can't move, can't do anything. And so they said like maybe about after 2 minutes, this one girl said, all right, fuck this. And they got up and put the fish back in there. Little did they know it was a fish that could survive out of water for 15 minutes. But he said, he came back in and said, look at all y'all. He said, y'all so afraid to do what's right, or what the consequences that you're afraid to do what's right. And it's like, damn, I was like, fuck. I was like, sheesh.
Dude, that's actually an interesting story. Not even to cut you off. I had a teacher.
No, you're good. I watched that and I was like, I was listening to the story and like it just led to it and I was like, damn,
That's deep.
Mm-hmm.
I had a teacher do us like that. I remember it was like, couldn't have been no more than, I think it was like 7th grade, to be honest, bro. And then the lesson, before I tell you the story, the lesson was to listen or to pay attention, read things through, and understand before you move into or go into a situation. And long story short, it was just like, she gave us a pop quiz. It's the first pop quiz I ever remember having. Pop quiz. It was 20 questions on the sheet. You could see them. All these sentences on the paper, right? And I think on like the 8th or 9th question, maybe somewhere around there, from like the 8th to the 12th question, one of them was like, it was a long sentence, but it was like at the end, it was like, just get up and turn your paper and you'll get an A. So I remember reading through the whole thing, because I always, like, since I was little, I'm going to read through the shit, make sure I understand it. I read through the shit, and instantly I looked around, and I was like, nobody moving. Bro, I got up and took that bitch up there and put it in. And, I sat back down. Everybody looking at me like, this couldn't even be in like a minute and 30 after her passing it out. Everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy. And I just sat back down and just waited and laughed. Like, people went all the way through that shit. And then slowly after a while, people caught on. Like, but she was like, see, the lesson is y'all always got to read and y'all got to understand before y'all move forward in this situation.
Exactly, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, wow.
It like that, man. But it was like people sat there for so long, like wondering, like, going from 1 to 2.
You realize, like, cause like when you, damn, it's like you're so nervous. You're not even looking at what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? You think you know.
Pop quiz. Like,
shit, that goes back all philosophy with Plato's allegory of the caves.
oh, I'm not familiar.
Ooh, it's so essentially it's I don't want to botch this up.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? It's so you know the philosopher Plato. Are you familiar with Plato at all? Okay. I forget. Like I was, I had to remember. I constantly had to tell myself, not everybody thinks like me.
No, you're
You know
good,
what I'm
bro.
saying?
That's why I'm receptive.
That's
But
one. That's one of my things. I'm like, yo,
mhm.
not everybody thinks like you, Caleb. Like, like so. Hold on. So Plato's allegory of the caves is always like a. Well, essentially, there's prisoners in a. Essentially, there's prisoners in a cave, and they're looking at the shadows on the wall. Or the allegory of the cave. So it's allegory presented by the Greek philosopher Plato in his work Republic to compare the effect of education and the lack of it in our nature, or the lack of it on our nature. It is written as a dialogue between Plato's brother Glaucon and his mentor Socrates. And I'm a big proponent of Socrates because Socrates was tried and executed for they tried him and executed him for poisoning the youth, which he wasn't what he did. All he did was he invented what was now known as Socratic method. Socratic method is essentially what we're doing now. Um, it's essentially you have a question or something like that, and it's essentially having a conversation, but a way of having a conversation to where you're trying to get to the bottom of what each other is saying and kind of like get like a mental understanding, like a mutual understanding between each
Okay.
other. You know what I'm saying? And you'll have some person who's gonna play like more or less. Some person who's gonna have more of the ideas, and then you have the other person who's gonna play devil's advocate to those ideas. But it goes back and forth between each other.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's Socrates. So the allegory of the cave. So, so it's better. It's easier to show you the picture. I'll probably put a picture up on the podcast. So
Okay.
essentially, it's they got the fire right there, and then you got the roadway to where the puppets perform. You have the prisoners, and then you have the shadows cast on the sunlight. And then the access to sunlight is right there. But all the prisoners are doing are looking at the shadows. They don't know that if they just get up, they can turn around and walk out the cave
Interesting.
because they think that's all they'd have. So if they,
Fire.
mm-hmm,
View sunlight. Damn.
mm-hmm.
Hey, read the room.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Read the room because you're just sitting
Read the
here looking at
room.
this one thing. And sometimes I think of that myself too, going through like my trials and tribulations, like having a breakup and stuff like that. And it's like you stand there so long looking at that closed door, and it's like, bro, just turn around. You know what I'm saying? Just turn around, see us. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of
Mm.
situations like that in life. Like this is random, but it's like even with swimming. Like I remember, I know this is my mind is just wandering now, not too far, but I remember like I got knocked in Lake Travis. Like we had been drinking, I got knocked off a fucking jet ski. A girl like kicked me in my head and knocked me off, and I remember like the jet ski was on top of me. I had went down in the water, and I was like the first thing I remember thinking was like, don't panic, just get your shit together and swim. You
Relax.
know how to swim, but I panicked in the moment because I had been drinking. She kicked me in my head, and it's just like not even like it's kind of like not a read the room situation, but like excessive for what it is. I remember all this as I'm holding my breath going through my head, like just relax, swim,
That's
nigga.
it. Survive. Just survive. That's it.
Swim,
That's
bro.
it.
But
You don't
I'm
gotta.
like, 1 second I'm happy party, and next second I'm feel this pain in my head, like
Mm.
underwater.
But there's that one voice that's just right there,
Mhm.
deep in the middle of your head, just like telling you exactly what you need to
And
do at a
it's
time.
like, bro, I don't even know what I would have done. Like, if I would have like panicked and lost my breath, or like, something like,
Mm.
it's kind of on and off such.
But I
So
mean,
like a read the room mentally situation for me.
that's how you know, like like something's got like you got something that's like keeping you going.
Yeah, that voice or
Forward. You're
that
forward. You know what I'm saying?
consciousness or
Yeah.
whatever.
Whatever you want to call it. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I
You,
don't know I don't know how to define it. It's one of them things where I take a step back and like I don't know what it is, but it's there and I fuck with it.
I fuck with that part too, cause I got a lot of like brain books and stuff like that.
Okay.
I got Neil deGrasse Tyson, the Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. It basically talks about the beginning of the universe and how like the universe was created. There's a part in there called "Let There Be Light," which as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, because it takes that parallel between science and religion, and like draws that parallel between what the Big Bang was perceived as versus what Christianity is perceived as, and more or less like it's kind of like I like to think that science and religion are talking about each other. You know what I'm saying? Just perceiving each other.
Definitely.
You know?
Bro, that's such an interesting topic. I've always found that very, very interesting, bro. And it's just like, 2 days ago, I think I had took I went with some of my family and my son. We went to the Space Museum,
Mhm.
and it was like they have the whole exhibit on the
Oh,
Big
NASA,
Bang, and it's
yeah.
told from their perspective. And I'm just like, they're in here saying shit, and I'm thinking like, there's no way this is true. But they feed this. I'm watching my kid like indulge in it, and he's like, "Wow, the moon was created in a month," and I was like. The video literally tells them that, like, the moon was created in a month, and nor have I been to the moon or say that I'm a scientist or
Mm.
anything like that. But
I
I was
didn't
like,
watch it get created. You know
I
what I'm
just
saying?
don't believe there's no way the moon was created in a month. I know this is kind of weak to say, but I don't see that happening. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah.
I mean, like, the first part of that book, the very first sentence, is the way to look at everything. And said the universe is in no obligation to make sense to you. I was like,
Life isn't either.
you know what I'm saying? I was like, wow. I was like, So that's a good prelude into like a book just about how the universe is created. But also like the same way with like how we always told in church how like God works in mysterious ways. You know what I'm saying?
And don't question it.
You know what I'm saying? Don't question God just works in mysterious ways.
If
You
it's
know.
good, it's like praise the Lord. If it's something bad, it's like fuck.
You know. But that's the thing. You can't. I think the most optimal way is to not even say like, "Oh fuck," you know. It's just like, or even when the good times come, you can't even be too cheerful about it. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
People like if it's they never, or I feel like it's humans, not even with religion and without. Like if it's something good, like say for example, you find $100 and it's like like you might be like praise the Lord, like
Yeah, glory to God. You know what I'm saying?
But if you lose $100, you're like, why this happening to me? Like you might, why God, why me? Like now you question it.
Exactly,
You know
exactly. So it goes right back and forth, and it's like you just accept things for what it is, and then when it leaves, just accept it for what it is. You know, but just realizing how like finite things. I was thinking about this earlier, like the little shower thoughts, bro. I was like how finite things are, and just how temporary things are. You know what I'm saying? How fragile everything is. You know.
Everything, every situation, every relationship, like you really don't realize it, bro. Like, so I read a quote on Twitter actually, and it was like one of them threads of quotes, and like one of them on there was like, somewhere somebody doesn't know that they just had their last moment with you. Like they don't know that. It happened. Like, you might even in multiple perspectives like that might be your last time seeing that person. Universe, God forbid, whatever, it might be the last time, but they might have done something, or they might think you have done something to them, and they're like, oh, I'm not fucking with them no more, or whatever. But it's just crazy. Shit is fragile, bro.
Yeah, you gotta keep moving. You gotta keep moving and know how to move. That's it. Yes, I know. I think that's a good part to wrap up this podcast. We're going for about like damn near.
Once I get to talking, I can talk.
Oh well, we're going for hour 17 now. Yeah, no. But it's been a good podcast. I gotta go to work in a little bit, so yeah.
Oh yeah, come on, bro.
Oh no, we good. Yeah, but no, I was gonna wrap it up right there, get everything edited, and get down and everything. But you want to throw in some tags for your social media and all?
Definitely appreciate you, Mr. Caleb Jackson.
Yes, sir. Thank you for coming
I
on.
hope that the podcast grow. I hope it thrives. I hope you continue to learn, bro. I wish nothing but blessings for you. My name is DJ Adonis. Y'all can follow me on any social media platform at the THEDJ ADONIS, the DJ Adonis. If y'all want to cash out me just for being a real ass nigga, send me $100, anything like that.
Go
cash
ahead.
App tag the same. No, I'm playing.
Hey man, me too. Shit.
Y'all want to throw me a couple of dollars so I can throw in the strippers and all that shit.
Hey man, they deserve love too.
They gotta pay rent.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It go full circle.
yeah, I'm out, y'all.
All right. Yeah, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and be on the lookout for any more podcasts coming because we definitely got more. And we definitely going to link up with another one. So, all right. Appreciate y'all. Be easy.